Sleep builds power. Hi, I'm Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind. Today, Monday, March 1st. Monday, March 1st, 2021. My topic today is Sleep Builds Power. A little extra noise there. Sleep builds power. Many of us resent sleep, especially while we're young and having so much fun. It gets in the way just when things are getting good. I remember often hearing the term, "I'll sleep when I die," which is actually quite amusing because going without sleep will lead you to die sooner. In fact, through scientific experimentation to determine the necessity for sleep, they found that animals that had not been allowed to sleep will lose all their immune function and they will die within a matter of weeks. I've seen too many motivational videos and read too many success books claiming that sleep is a problem. They promote the idea that really successful people only sleep 4 hours a night, so they get much more accomplished than you lazy slugs out there who sleep a full 8 hours per night. Then you turn around and you read about heart attacks and deaths from cancer that seem to affect those fast livers at surprisingly young ages. I'm reminded of the character Pretty Boy Romano, who in the 1949 movie Knock on Any Door said, "I want to live fast, die young, and leave a beautiful corpse." Please click on the thumbs up button. And if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. I'm sorry. Somehow I didn't turn on my camera. How do I do that? So, please click on the thumbs up button, and if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. Today we're talking about sleep, the power of sleep, how important sleep is. I know some of us don't want to sleep, especially when we're young, because we're having so much fun. And there are books, the success books, that tell us that really successful people don't sleep more than 4 hours a day. But then you find out, as we read through the newspapers, that those fast livers who only sleep 4 hours a day are having heart attacks and are dying from cancer at surprisingly young ages. And as I said before, I'm reminded of the character named Pretty Boy Romano, who said in the 1949 movie Knock on Any Door, "I want to live fast, die young, and leave a beautiful corpse." Do you want a beautiful corpse? A young, beautiful corpse? Remember, I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments and questions, so please use the chat box on the right side of the screen, and if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. Oh, and click on the thumbs up button down below the video. So, we're talking about sleep and the power of sleep. What's so great about sleep, and how much of it do we really need? Well, according to many health advisors, sleep has a whole list of benefits that we need to be aware of. Sleep can lower blood pressure, cholesterol. It can reduce the risk of us developing breast cancer or colon cancer. Sleep improves your memory. Sleep enhances your ability to think positively instead of negatively. Sleep repairs your muscles and rebuilds energy reserves. Sleep reduces the risk of diabetes. It strengthens your immune system. It can help you control your weight. All kinds of things. Of course, too much sleep is almost as harmful as too little sleep. But most of us err on the side of not enough sleep. Most of us don't get enough sleep. So what happens? What is the process when you sleep? Well, a typical sleep cycle for an average healthy adult lasts about 90 minutes. Now, the first sleep cycle, when we first fall asleep, we go through a normal, when we're going through a normal night's sleep, that first cycle is about 120 minutes or 2 full hours. But after we get past the first cycle, they decrease to about an average of 90 minutes or an hour and a half per cycle. And a good night's sleep involves 4 full sleep cycles. So what happens? The first few minutes is light sleep as the muscles slowly react. And then the next phase, breathing and heartbeat slows down and your body temperature starts to drop. Now these first 2 phases take about a half an hour. Then the body moves into deep sleep where the real repair work begins along with the brain restructuring. This lasts about a half hour to 40 minutes. Then after that deep sleep, we rise up into the dream state, which is known as REM sleep or rapid eye movement. And that dream state can go on for about 30 minutes. And while we're in that dream state, we're closest to a waking state. But any of you who have tried to move or get up while you're coming out of the dream state will notice that your body is paralyzed. It's hard to move your body. That's so that while you're dreaming, you're not moving around and kicking and screaming and all that. It just knocks your body out so that it's all going on inside your brain. Then, after the dream state, we drop down into another cycle where that all repeats itself. Now, the health benefits of sleep are important for our body to maintain good physical health and should be paid attention for those reasons above. You know, the immune system and the memory system and the heart and all that. What I want to focus on right now is the mind and the benefits of sleep brings to our mental capabilities. Now, my successes in life have been as a result of my ability to solve problems and come up with new ideas. I found that when I don't get enough sleep, my problem-solving abilities and my creativity actually suffer tremendously. So I've learned that one of the reasons for this is that when we sleep, the brain is working on memory consolidation. What that means is that when we learn new things and we gather new information, the brain has to properly store it and then build neural connections to each bit of information and construct the networks that will enable us to access and use that information when we need it. Now, if we don't have sleep, then our brain doesn't get to do that, and we can lose that information that we've gained. So when I'm tired, I can forget what someone has told me a few minutes ago and have to ask them to repeat it. On the other hand, when I'm rested and my mind is flashing properly, I can remember everything I've heard and can come up with ideas rapidly. That was one of the things that served me very well when I was a writer in advertising. There would be times when the client would want a new ad to go into a magazine or a newspaper that had just become available. So my supervisor would ask me to create 10 new ad headlines within 60 minutes so we could go from there. 10 new ad headlines within 60 minutes. And when I was well rested, I could not only meet the request for 10 new headlines, I could turn in 20. But when I was tired, I'd have trouble coming up with 5 headlines. In problem solving, my solutions would often come while I was sleeping, and I would wake up with the solution in mind. That's not an unusual occurrence. A man named Elias Howe, he was the man who invented the sewing machine. He was stuck in his work on how to make the needle work because what was happening was that the needle would go into the cloth, but it wouldn't insert the thread because the hole was too far back. Well, one night, he had a very unsettling dream. He says, I was in Africa and I was being chased by wild cannibals, and they caught me and they placed me in a huge pot. And I kept trying to get out, but they kept forcing me back in with their spears. He says he woke up from that dream in a state of terror. But as he reviewed the dream, he began to notice something very strange about their spears. Each one of their spears had a hole in the tip, and that was the answer he was seeking. He then built his needles on his machines with the hole in the tip, so that the instant the instant the needle was penetrated the cloth, the thread was inserted. It worked, and it made him a very rich man. I don't know what I'm going to talk about on my daily talks when I wake up, or the day before. The day before, I don't know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, unless it's a continuation of the previous day. I actually don't know until the morning of the broadcast, because when I wake up, I usually have the message that's telling me what I'm going to talk about that day. Of course, this morning I woke up with the idea that I was going to talk about dreams. But when I sat down to work at the keyboard, I realized that I had to talk about sleep first. You know, the mind leads us and the body follows. But it took me some time before I realized that the true mind is in the heart. It is the heart that determines how our brain functions. When my mind looks at a problem or an idea, I've learned that the idea has little value to me if my heart is not involved. It's the heart-driven idea that affects people the most deeply. If it only comes from my mind, it doesn't touch people in the same way. So a mind-only idea will mean that I will tend to encounter resistance from others. But if it's a heart-mind connection that's coming up with the idea, then I find that it works better. And I only get the heart-mind connection when I've had enough sleep. So if I don't get enough sleep, my brain tends to come up more easily with angry ideas. And when those ideas pop up, my heart feels sad and it tends to shut down and remove itself from that teamwork. It's like, you're mad, I don't want to deal with you. So I need to get my heart and mind to work together, and that requires sleep. So how much is enough sleep? Well, children need much more sleep than adults, because children's bodies are during their development, are doing most of it while they're sleeping. So they need up to 16 hours sleep, depending on how old they are or how young they are. On the other hand, adults on average need only 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. And that amount of time will give the adult the benefits of 4 full sleep cycles to complete a full night's sleep, so they're fully prepared for the demands of the day. Another thing I've learned over the years is the importance of taking naps. And there's actually a school of thought now in corporate America that advocates what are known as power naps. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. In the meantime, let's close with prayer. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence, for bringing all of us together in this life so that we may become spiritual warriors and join in the work we have come here to do. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence, for bringing us into this space of awareness and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationship to life and infinite intelligence. Thank you for showing us who we really are. We open our minds and hearts to the truth of our being. We are the children of God. We are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. And because we are part of the greater whole, we are beginning to understand our value to the continuity of life on this planet. As we become channels of your power, infinite intelligence, we can feel your presence within ourselves and within our lives more and more. And we notice that we feel your presence within our lives every day, we will rise, because we are no longer cut off from you by being immersed in the darkness of fear, anger, and the pain of unforgiveness. So we are now restoring our connection through the grace of forgiveness, knowing that as we learn to forgive ourselves for the pain we have caused to ourselves, and as we learn to forgive those who have inflicted pain upon us, our connections will grow stronger, and our lives will grow happier and healthier and more prosperous. And for this, we are truly grateful. As above, so below. As within, so without. And so it is. Amen. Thank you for watching. Please remember to click on the thumbs up button below. And if you haven't also already done so, please choose to subscribe. Remember, I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, and questions. And you can leave those in the comments section below the video. My name is Andrew Bozeman. Tomorrow we'll talk more about sleep and talk about power naps. In the meantime, this has been On the Wings of Your Mind.